Hello, this is Melody, the massage therapist, and this is Frank. Say hi, Frank. Say hi, Frank. And this is random tips for ASMR inspired GMV. Anyways, I have a whole nother list of tips I want to share with you. It was either the last video or the one before that for random tips that I used ice cubes. But I have a great idea. Instead of real ice, you use these little square ice cubes that you can reuse, and you use them for rubbing ice on your face. And then it's not quite so messy as using ice cubes. Alright, I don't know if this works quite as well as using real ice. But if you're in the car driving and you happen to have these in your lunch bag, it works out really well. So I'm gonna try it and we'll see what happens. This is a silly tip. Buy hearing aid stock. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm going to buy hearing aid stock. Packing tape on your, I have a day timer. Oh, check out this cute little picture Dr. Hooper's daughter Abby made me of myself. Anyways, I try to preserve pictures on my day timer, and I use packing tape. And when there's little bubbles in your packing tape, you can poke holes right where the little bubbles are with a safety pin, and you scooch out the little air holes. And then there's no little bubbles. Okay, there's fewer bubbles. I think I need to be speaking slower, huh, Martin? Alright, I'll work on speaking slower. Find a place to volunteer. I love volunteering at the Orpheum, downtown Phoenix, Symphony Hall. You meet the neatest people and you get to experience amazing shows. Miranda Sings was at the Orpheum a month ago, and she was amazing. But the audience is even more amazing than the show quite often. A little girl, Emily, was there, and she gave me a hug like at the beginning of the show, and then she gave me a hug at the end. So Emily, if you ever see this video, I'm sending you a hug. Hope you're doing well. Welch's grape juice, 6 ounces a day, helps reduce cholesterol. That's from my Bible study friends. And tart cherry juice. Okay, I can't remember how much. Let's say a couple of ounces a day help with arthritis, inflammation. A couple of weeks ago, I was walking my dogs and I saw smoke coming from behind somebody's house, and I had to walk around the back side of this neighborhood to get to the back of the front of that house to see what was being burned, what was burning. And there was a man burning rubble in his backyard. So in Phoenix, we're not really supposed to burn rubble in our backyards. So maybe call your particular city and see if burning rubble is allowed in in Arizona, it's so dry. We have to be really careful with open fires. Okay, time out. No open fires. Oh, this is fun. When I get cards, I love to reuse them. Sometimes the inside can be taken out, and you can reuse that card. Ooh, that's super loud. You peel off the inside and you can write a whole nother script, or you can take off a picture from the outside. And use this for another card and say thank you, or I might put it on my day timer. It's so cute. So reuse your cards when you're able to, or you cut off I cut it off right at the line, and I'll use it like as a postcard and reuse it as a thank you or a happy birthday card sometimes. So I drive a Honda Civic, and years ago little kids would slam my Honda door, and I would have to one time I had to buy a new window mechanism to make it go up and down. So don't slam car doors unless it's an old car that it won't close unless it's slammed. But lots of cars are really gentle, like have a real easy closing mechanism. When I go to the movies, I have been taking my own like insulated cup, and I buy my soda, and often the Harkins, they have a refill, like you can bring your own cup in and refill it. And I don't know about you guys, but I love lots of ice with my soda because I think I just drink less soda that way. So after I get my refill in their cup, because they don't want to use my cup, I pour it into my insulated cup, and then my ice doesn't melt as quickly. It's so nice. I love having lots of ice. I worked on a lady, Lorinda, yesterday, and Lorinda had a super interesting tip about the brain, because she had just gone to Washington, D.C., and it was so humid there. Okay, it was super humid there. And she said when the skin is hydrated, the brain doesn't have to work as hard. So when the brain doesn't have to work as hard to keep the largest organ on our body healthy, the largest organ being our skin, it helps keep Alzheimer's at bay. So keep hydrating your skin. And I use coconut oil all the time. I love coconut oil. Hydrate our largest organ so that our brain doesn't have to work so hard, and keeping Alzheimer's away. Thank you, Lorinda, for that tip. Okay, so I heard a couple weeks ago that they say of course, this is what I've always done. Your toilet paper roll always goes forward unless you have cats or maybe dogs that like to play with toilet paper. And then if they're on the outside, it's never going to unroll if you have your toilet paper backwards. Now I can't remember if that was Kelly and Ryan or Matthew and Priscilla. So thank you for that tip. So I'm a roller skater, and over the years with roller skating and dancing, people come and go. Maybe 20 years goes by, and then they come back to roller skating or dancing, and they go, "Where have you been for 20 years?" And they said, "Oh, I met somebody," or "Oh, my friends didn't want to go with me." And they gave up what they loved. So this tip is to tell you, don't give up what you love for the people around you. If they don't want to go roller skating or dancing with you, find other people that will go with you. I never gave up roller skating as an adult. I go skating just about every month. And I wear my wrist guards. Being a massage therapist, I want to protect my wrists, but it's something I love. So doing what you love shapes who you are. So I hope you never give up what you love. Oh, right. Enjoy your youth, because beauty fades, and our health is so incredibly precious. Never take a single step for granted. So when you worry about things that haven't happened yet, just recently I've started saying, don't borrow trouble. It's kind of like when the police officer pulls up in his sedan behind your car and your heart rate increases. Okay, so I know mine increases, and you start worrying like, oh no, is he gonna stop me? Take a deep breath and don't borrow trouble. He's not out to get you. Try to keep your word. Years ago, a lady at my church, Nancy, she told me, Melody, you don't keep your promises. And it really impacted me. So Nancy, thank you so much for that I wasn't keeping my word. And I wonder if it was because I had all these ideas in my head and I said them out loud, and I never followed through with those ideas. So if you're going to make a real promise, try to keep your promise. And be careful of what you say. I can't remember what I used to say, but I would say something kind of snarky, like, I can't remember what I used to say, but I'd say, oh, just kidding. And my brother-in-law, Tim, said, Melody, Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And it was really powerful to me that I really need to watch my words and what I say to people so that I don't hurt their feelings. I would never want to hurt somebody's feelings. So thank you, Tim, for telling me to watch my words as far as, oh, just kidding. Oh, there's a YouTube lady called the English Lady, and she has a great tip that I want to share with you here. She said when you're trying to learn another language, you take a physical book and you take the audio book and you read them simultaneously, even if it's just learning English to be a better speaker. You take a book and the audio and you play them at the same, play the audio while you're physically reading the book, and it will help your English. Okay, I have a silly tip. Well, it's not so silly. It's a flossing tip. My daughter was telling me about this, so thank you, Casey, for sharing this tip with me. So when you have your floss and you go between your teeth, Casey and I both have teeth that are super close together. So when you go between the teeth, you brush like you move it up and down a lot down each side of the tooth. So it's not just a fat. So you wiggle it up and down a number of times like you're brushing each side of the tooth. So thank you, Casey, for that tip. And I want to close with some encouragement. In all of life's disappointments or sadnesses, just remember that each morning you have a new opportunity, a new day, a fresh start to be anything you want to be, to spread kindness, be the difference. Smile at people and know that we've all failed. We all disappoint. But it's a new day to make a difference, one person at a time. How cool is that? I wish you a beautiful day. I wish you kindness and gentleness and fresh starts, new beginnings every day. God bless you. Bye-bye. Time out. I forgot one of my tips. Check out this super cute picture of a puppy dog. This was from my daughter's vintage store, and it was actually a greeting card, and I had an old frame that didn't have a back, so I cut a piece of cardboard and cut pretty tight to fit behind the picture, and I used duct tape around the edges. And then this is a super old tip, so forgive me if you already know this. I bet you know a lot of my tips already, huh? But you take a pop top, a can of soda pop, the ring at the top, and you hot glue gun it to the cardboard, or probably the wood might be stronger. And then from the front side, no one ever has to see how it's being held up. Anyways, I wish you a beautiful day. Be the blessing. Bye-bye.